I don't know, I haven't. Oh, shoot.
See the bombers fly up to win the freedom flag. Our boys who play the struggle game are always striving for glory and fame. See the bombers fly up, the other team they don't care. They'll try their best, but they can't get news as the bombers fly up.
With mum.
Okay, I am going to use the microphone only because it's a bit windy. So can you all hear me okay? Hi. So good afternoon and welcome as we come together as family, as friends, but probably above all as community to honour, remember and celebrate the life of Shane. My name is Sandra Bamford, and it's been an honour for Mary Eleanor to care for Shane and to have you all here today in our little backyard to remember him by. So Mary Eleanor is a bit of a different funeral home. We are a natural funeral home, so very much we believe in doing things as family orientated and as naturally as we possibly can. So we don't think Shane would have liked a big fancy dancy church or anything like that. That probably wasn't his vibe. So we decided we were going to celebrate his life here in our beautiful garden. So thank you all so much for coming out and being part of it today. For those of you who are live streaming, thank you for joining us. And we hope that you can hear us and you can see everything okay and that you feel that you're part of our celebration and service here today. So we know that Shane was born in 1971. He was a brother, a big brother. Was he a younger brother or was he the eldest? He's the second eldest. So I imagine Dave, who is not with us today, would be the eldest brother. So we're gathered here in our mutual love, care and respect for Shane, a man who had a cheeky sense of humour, a compassionate heart and an almighty set of athletic abilities. Shane was an interesting, perhaps complex character, and I'm guessing there were many sides to Shane, and that many of you here had your own understanding and views of what this was. Perhaps we didn't get to know him as well as we should have or wished we had. Perhaps there were times when we thought we knew him just a little bit too well. That's for my darling. I might just lay it down because it is just going to blow it over again. Prop him up there. But regardless of how we knew him and the ups and downs of life, the good and the not so good times, and moments. The good and the not so good times. Danielle is very clear on one point, that the good times outweighed the bad times. And there was no other person quite like Shane. As a young fella, his athletic ability shone early, with him and his mum Lynn winning the mother and son race 3 years in a row at the local primary school. This ability would be an integral part of his life. Growing up, he was a gifted footballer, playing for Ross and Kempton during his younger years. Maybe there were other football clubs that I'm not too aware of. One of his most enjoyable jobs was working at the Bridgewater Indoor Cricket Centre, where he not only worked but played. One of the stories that Danielle shared was that Shane and his brother Dave were in opposing indoor cricket teams. And as was Shane's nature, he somewhat helped his brother reach a batting century during a game, only to have this favour returned with Dave catching him out at 95. 99. Shane's cheeky nature also shone through with another story Danielle shared with me. Apparently, when he was working at the Granton Servo as a young man, he borrowed the boss's bongo van. Whose bongo van was it? One of his mum's friends. He borrowed the bongo van. I don't even know why a van would be called the bongo van, but I think I could pretty much guess. He borrowed the bongo van just to duck up and to go out to the shops. What he really did, though, was take the van on a 3-day Tas rally expedition. And I'm sure there are many other stories and memories of times shared and practical jokes played. Throughout his lifetime, Shane was a son. He was a brother. David, who's not with us, who we hope would be here, but unfortunately isn't. Daniel, who is with us and present here today, and we're really grateful for that. He was a father to Jennifer, who is with us live streaming, to Talia, who is with us today, and to Sky. And he was a stepdad to Shelby. He was a grandfather, he was a partner, and he was a friend. I'd now like to share some thoughts from Tanya, who is with us live streaming today. Tanya's known Shane for over 30 years. So it's a little good, I think, a long part of his journey, sort of, over the years that she's known him. And Tanya says, Shane and I have known each other for 30 years. I remember when I first met him at the football, he was just the hottest guy I had seen. All the local girls were chasing after him and fighting over him. We started spending a lot of time together. I thought it was a dream. The other girls were pretty, and I soon realised that Shane needed someone on the same level as him. He was very smart. I remember times when he would ring me up with the answers to the game shows on TV. He told me he was going to do, and he was going to go on to Who Wants to Be a Millionaire TV show, because he always got the questions right. I used to take our daughter Jennifer to Collinsvale a lot to visit Shane's mum Lynn. Shane and I never had a bad word, but we went our separate ways in life. Jennifer now has 4 beautiful children, and I see a lot of Shane in Chase. Chase is a walking encyclopedia. Jessie and Chase are both really good at football. And I remember when Jennifer was 5 years old, she wanted to join the Campbelltown Football Club Little League. Shane was over the moon. And of course, the Campbelltown Robins were red and black, just like his favourite football team, Essendon. Thank you, Tanya. Shane and Danielle have also known each other for many, many years. They have shared life's highs and lows, relationship and family, and I know he will be deeply missed. There's also, unfortunately, Kathleen's not with us today, but a lot of her family is represented here. And the story that I have been told is that Kathleen was Shane's deepest love, his first big love. So it is said that grief and love are simply. Oh, see, this is Shane having his way, you know.
And the sun comes out.
And the sun comes out. Just know that Shane's here with us. It is said that grief and love, and the love that we've talked about here, and the grief that we're all feeling, they say that grief and love are simply two sides of the same coins. Poets and songwriters speak to this all the time, and I believe that it's true. For if we didn't love something so fully, why would we experience its loss so deeply? Simply put, you can't have one without the other. Nick Cave, who is not on the playlist for today, I think Shane was more of a sort of a rocking kind of guy. But Nick Cave, I'm sure who we all know, he says, "It seems to me that if we love, we will grieve. That's the deal. That's the pact. Grief and love are forever intertwined. Grief is the reminder that the depths of our love, and like love, grief is non-negotiable." So my condolences to you all as you navigate your journey ahead. So when the times ahead come, and they will, when you need to feel the pain of Shane's loss, know it's because of the tremendous love that was also shared and experienced. And maybe in time, not today, tomorrow, next week, or even next month, but in time, the time between these two powerful feelings of grief and love and the expressions of them may be lessened and in some way fused together to allow for moments of peace and deep gratitude for all that we had and experienced, for all that Shane was, that he is, and he can continue to be in our lives. As the poet Arnold Compton wrote, "They are not apart from us, but they are now a part of us. I in you and you in me. And those that we love deeply will be with us throughout all eternity." So knowing this, let us spend our time together today in love and grief, celebrating the life of Shane. A perfect human? No, not by any stretch. But who of us are perfect? We are all simply trying to do our best and be our best as we travel this crazy road and path we call life. So we're just going to pause for a few moments now, and we're going to, the lyrics are in your booklet if you want to observe those lyrics, or if you just want to sit and listen and feel the power of the lyrics and of Jimmy Barnes. And it's a song that's been chosen especially for this point, and it's called Vision by Jimmy Barnes.
I know that you've been made this way. Never change.
I'm back. There's some really beautiful lyrics in that song. But I just look at the photo on the front of that booklet and I can just feel and see Shane just sort of rocking out to a bit of Barnesy back in his 80s heyday. I reckon it would have been, yeah. So I know there would be thoughts and stories in our hearts about Shane and about times that, you know, I never had the honour of meeting Shane. I wonder whether, and probably not, but I wonder if anybody feels that they've got something they'd like to get up and say about what he was as a mate, as a friend, as a part of their life. I know that to a lot of you here, he was known as Slotty. Is that right? Slotty? Does anybody know where that Slotty comes from? Do we know? Slot man.
His best mate was one of his best mates was Ross Blackley. And they used to, I'll tell you why, because Slotty and Lottie, they played on the wing in football.
Ah.
It was either Slotty or Lottie.
Oh, okay. So him and his best mate both played on the wings on the football team. So it was either Slotty or Lottie on the football team. So he was, that has that strong football theme. Yeah, great. Thanks, Daniel. And something I'd also just like to share that Daniel said, and I'm sure he won't mind me sharing this. He said not only was Shane his brother, he was also his best mate, and that's a beautiful thing to be able to say that our brother is our best mate. So that's lovely. You beautiful mates that are here, any thoughts on Shane? What was he like as a mate? Good fella? Yeah, he was the best. Yeah. So I believe in time to come, you're going to have your own wake and celebration for his life, which will be lovely. So now I'm going to ask us all to stand, and what we're going to do is we're going to have a committal for Shane, because he will now leave us and go to the crematorium where his body will be cremated. And so it's really lovely that we can gather together and send his well, in saying that, Daniel, do you want to come and still stand around? Because what I was going to do is I was going to invite us all to come around and stand around Shane and just to lay our hand on his coffin. So just so we can connect with him and that we can send our love and transfer our love to him, which is really important.
I have her leg, yes.
Yeah, sure, my love. Oh, okay. That's beautiful. Am I allowed to read this?
Yeah.
Yeah. And what's your name, sweetheart?
Sean.
Sean. So for those of you who are not with us today, so Sean has got this beautiful pin, because apparently I forgot to mention, but you're right. So Shane was a great table tennis player as well, wasn't he? So Sean has got this beautiful little ping pong ball that we're going to take and leave with Shane. It says, "My dear friend, I'll miss you up, and I'll see you up there, mate." And it's from Sean, and he's put the Essendon football colours on it, which is really beautiful. So thank you for that, sweetheart. So we will just put that and make sure. Jojo, can I just give that to you, Joe, to make sure that goes in with Shane when he goes. Thank you, darling. Thank you, Sean. So I just sort of ask us all just to lay one hand on the coffin. So to everything there is a season, and a time to every purpose under the heavens. a time to laugh and a time to weep, a time to work and a time to rest, a time to be born and a time to die. So, here in this last act, in sorrow but without fear, giving thanks for all that we have shared with Shane, and releasing, reaffirming the love that has brought us together, and releasing all that needs to be released. Let us bid him a final earthly farewell. The road is now travelled, his destination known. It is now time to rest, for his eternal nightfall has come. So tenderly, lovingly, reverently, we commit the body of Shane Paul Bennett back to nature's free keeping, into the wind, into the freedom of the wind and sunshine that washes and cleanses our souls. We let him go. Into the earth that from a tiny seed a tall forest grows. We let him go. And into the ebb and flow of the tides that constantly renew and refresh the boundless shores upon which we stand. And into the dance of the stars and the planets that encircle and embrace our earth. We let him go and we set him free. May any regrets and sadness we feel today give way to gratitude for the times that we shared and the memories bestowed. With gratitude, we say one last goodbye. Shane, your earthly journey has come to its end. May your body rest in peace and your soul feel the light and warmth of the Spirit now and forever. Amen. And I'd just like to offer a blessing for us all here today. May memory bless and protect you with the hard-earned light of past experiences, to remind us that we have all survived before, and though the darkness is now deep, you will soon be approaching light once again. May the grace of time heal your wounds. Be gentle with yourself and those around you. And the love and times shared, may they spring forth with a new joy and breath of springtime. So that's all our formal little service done today. So what we're going to do now is we're going to rock out with a bit of Sultans of Swing by Dire Straits. As community, we can walk Shane over to the back of the hearse where we will take him to the crematorium. And then inside we've got tea and coffee and juice, and we've got some sandwiches and some biscuits. And if you feel you'd like to come and sit down and have a cup of tea and share some stories and memories of Shane for a bit longer, you are so welcome to. I'm sorry the rain kept coming and going, but you know, I think that's Shane. A bit of mixture of coming and going and storms and sunshine and all those beautiful things that make life. So thank you so much for being here. It's really special. And if we would like to walk Shane over to the hearse, we will play some Sultans of Swing nice and loudly, Chris. I think let's go really loud with a bit of Sultans of Swing.
Get a shiver in the dark, it's raining in the park. Meantime, sound of the river, you stop and you hold everything. A band is blowing Dixie, double fall time. You're right.
Yeah, mate, you're right.
Now you step inside, but you don't see too many faces. Calling out the rain, they hear the jazz go down. Competition in other places. But the horns, they throwing that sound. Way on down south. Way on down south, London town. Check out guitar He knows all the chords. But strictly rhythm, he doesn't want to make it cry or sing. If an old guitar is all he can afford, when he gets up under the lights to play his thing. And Harry doesn't mind if he doesn't make the scene. He's got a daytime job, he's doing alright. He can play the honky tonk like anything, saving it up Friday night with the Sultans, with the Sultans of Swing. And the crowd of young boys there fooling around in the corner, looking best the best rock baggies in their platform soul. We don't give a damn about any trumpet playing band.